Hey, it's Chad Hasty of the Chad Hasty Show. Coming up today on the program, we'll take a look back on the Texas 19 race and how Jodey Arrington was the big winner, and he will be the next congressman serving this area. So how did Jodey Arrington do it? Well, a lot of strategy, a lot of campaign strategy, a lot of ground force out there, working hard throughout the rural districts and throughout the city of Lubbock and down at Abilene. But also it took a lot from Glen Robertson as well. I think Glen Robertson had a few missteps, and I think, if anything, really, Glen Robertson and Jodey Arrington had a pretty good battle on their hands. It was a race that I think Glen Robertson led throughout most of the campaign, but within the last few weeks, that lead started to dissipate, and Jodey Arrington caught a little bit of momentum. There's a few things that we can point to for Glen Robertson's loss. I personally think the Social Security mailer that went out was a bad move. Also, some of the accusations that went against not only Jodey Arrington, but bringing Texas Tech University into the fold. Look, whether you graduated from Texas Tech or not, Texas Tech holds a lot of sway in this community and throughout the 19th Congressional District. And when voters hear the folks over at Texas Tech slap your campaign ads down and your campaign mailers down and some of your campaign statements, people are going to look at that, and they're not going to react in a good way. I think that Glen Robertson sort of blew it in a few different areas. I think that Glen Robertson should have stressed his expertise in business. He should have stressed the point that he was obviously from being mayor of Lubbock, he's had to deal with federal government intrusion into our lives, and he should have played up the fact that he's a fighter. I really do believe that Glen Robertson was the fighter in this race, and he should have played the trump card in a way. Talked about being an outsider and a fighter at that. That's something that got lost in the conversation. I thought that Glen Robertson throughout this race really tried to show his knowledge on the issues, which is something that you should do. I think he was definitely knowledgeable on the issues. But when you're showing how knowledgeable you are on the issues, he got away from the fighter and outsider mentality. And for a lot of voters out there, I heard this from a lot of folks, he sounded like another politician. So I think you couple that with Jodey Arrington, really getting out there and working hard and crisscrossing the district as they both did. But with Arrington, he's done it before in his failed race against Charles Perry. He had crisscrossed a lot of this same area. I think that Jodey Arrington, his message resonated with a lot of voters out there. I think that voters did not obviously hold the establishment tag against him too much at all. I think that for Jodey Arrington now, he's got to do a lot of work. And here's what I mean by this. He's going to be the next congressman, but he still has to reach out to, I think, a lot of the conservative activists and conservatives out there who just didn't trust his establishment credentials, working for former President George W. Bush, being endorsed by Rick Perry. Arrington's got to reach out a little bit and connect to some of those folks out there. I expect him to do it. I expect him to do that well. And I congratulate Jodey Arrington on his win. And I think that the next couple of years here, as Congressman-elect Arrington settles in, it'll be very interesting to watch and see what happens. Remember, my message to Congressman-elect Arrington: voters want a fighter. They want someone who is going to stand up for the 19th Congressional District and stand up for what they believe in and what you believe in as well. You campaigned hard and you won this race. Now we'll be watching. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 790 KFYO. Follow me on Twitter, Chad Hasty Radio, and don't forget, subscribe below to the KFYO YouTube page. We'll talk to you on the radio.